Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Marchena Perspective, episode number 3. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. To the ones that are watching us for the very first time, my name is Hector Marchena. Welcome to the channel, and this is a space where we always try to have those discussions, those conversations that a lot of people just tend to find uncomfortable or divisive, and we seek understanding and growth through the lens of faith. So again, welcome to the channel and thank you for being here. So tonight, I want to jump straight into the topic of immigration, but specifically illegal immigration. There's a few things that I would like to put out there, some thoughts that I would like to share with you guys. And this is definitely what's going to turn this episode into a little bit more of a rant than just a regular discussion like we usually tend to have. And of course, feel free to disagree with me, open up conversations on the comments. I would really appreciate and would like to see what you guys have to say if you disagree with me. But like I mentioned before, I understand immigration. I understand legal immigration. I understand why immigration became a topic or an idea or a way of shaping, informing, and enriching countries in the first place. As a matter of fact, I would like to start off with the fact that I am a proponent for legal immigration. I completely agree with the fact that an individual can go through a legal process that allows him to go, or him and his family, or them and their families, go to a country, go through a legal process that requires fingerprints, that requires multiple investigations, security investigations, background checks, and all the paperwork you can possibly imagine for this country to determine if this individual will benefit the country long term, either professionally or culturally. I am a proponent of immigration when it comes to individuals seeking new horizons professionally for their families, for their quality of life. Obviously, if they're properly checked and investigated in the first place. Some countries, throughout history, have been incredibly open to immigration and have, in certain moments, needed immigration as a way to grow as nations. I mean, come on. I live in New York. I'm a New Yorker myself. We're in New York. We're in the United States of America, a country that originally was formed by settlers and migrants from all over the planet. And let's not even get started on New York City. This is a city. This is an incredibly massive metro area where you don't even have to spend 5 minutes outside for you to bump into every single religion, every single nationality, every single ethnic background, every demographic, every age range, every skin color. Everything is here in New York City, for God's sake. So I understand why migration is a thing. I understand that seeking new horizons and looking for opportunities and discovering new land has always been inherent to human nature. Now, when I have a big issue is when people are having these discussions and they're having these debates about immigration, and they just tend to put legal immigrants that have spent years of their time, that have spent thousands of dollars, that have put their affairs in order for them to seek a new life. They also put asylum seekers. They also put political refugees and war refugees into the same pot as illegal immigrants. And that definitely pisses me off. And the reason why it pisses me off is because we're having a conversation for all these groups of people, but we're not really talking about what makes each and every single group of people and each and every single individual that looks for a new life and every single migrant different. I really don't understand why that even happens in the first place. Why are we talking about immigration and illegal immigration into the same conversation? Like, why are we? It makes no sense. And I feel that a lot of people get a lot of heat every single time they have an opinion against illegal immigration and how it's a problem and how it's an issue and how it should be regulated. And then they always come up with this asinine argument that, oh, but the United States of America and Europe is formed by migrants. Are you serious? Are you so obtuse that you don't understand that it is the year 2025? We have systems and we have paperwork and we have legalities put into place for people to come legally into any country. And that person and the person who just gets on a boat and goes illegally and illegitimately to another place, another country, another land, crosses a border illegally, are not the same person. And obviously, any single country that has an issue with illegal immigration needs to instill systems and put systems into place for them to fight illegal immigration and get rid of it because it is a problem. I also, and this is just a parenthesis, I also don't really understand this hyperfixation of the entirety of the world to criticize or to police what the United States of America does in order for them to control their illegal immigration issue. We have a lot of people that are not documented here in this country. So I really don't understand why that's an issue. I really don't understand why that's a problem. And I definitely don't get why people get so heavily criticized every single time they talk about this topic as what it is, an issue. And it just becomes controversial and people have a meltdown saying, oh, but migrants, but the settlers, but the people, but even white people are immigrants. And yes, everybody to a degree, if you're in the United States at least, or you're, of course, in any other big metropolitan area all over the world, like London or Paris or Berlin, everybody is most likely, at least the majority of the people, not every single person, but most likely a lot of people are immigrants or have people in their families who are the direct correlation to immigration. That's completely understandable. But what we need to also understand and also talk about is, why is illegal immigration something that has become so divisive? Why is it something that has become something in the lines of, oh, you're a bad person if you talk about it. You're a bad person if you criticize it. Oh, you're a bigot or you're xenophobic. I really don't understand. But also, why? Because I want to see everything from, this is the Marchena perspective. I want to have perspective on the matter. I want to see everything from both sides. The side of the person who's definitely not wrong for criticizing illegal immigration and finding issues and problems with it. But I also want to understand what goes through the minds in terms of needs, in terms of necessities, in terms of risk. What goes through the mind of the illegal migrant? Why does illegal immigration becomes an option in the first place? What are these people going through? Why have their countries become unlivable? Guys, let's be honest. Let's be real. We live in a world where there are 110 active war conflicts as we speak. Do you have any idea of how many countries in the world have become literally inhabitable? How many territories have become inhabitable for people? Yes, we understand that illegal immigration is an issue, but Why do people feel forced to leave their countries in the first place? And what are the rulers and leaders of these countries doing in the first place to fix it? To go back to peace, to go back to prosperity, to go back to, to return quality of life to their countries. Because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people don't even want to consider leaving their countries in the first place. I am almost certain that if you were to give the option to the average Somalian or Palestinian, to the average Nigerian, to the average Dominican, Puerto Rican, Mexican, to the average English person, Scotsman, German, whatever it is, I can literally go on and on, listing every single nationality or ethnic background. I'm pretty sure if you give them the option to, hey, you have all the quality of life in your country that you need, you have everything in order for you to prosper, and you have a platform to propel your future and your family's future. Would you rather stay in your country of origin, or would you rather just, I don't know, try your luck in whichever other country you're going to, or opens up the doors for you? I'm 100% sure, maybe not 100%, but I'm almost sure that a lot of people, at least a vast majority, would say, what would I go anywhere else for? I want to stay in my country. This is what I know. This is where I live. I'm legal in this country. I was born here. This is everything I know. This is where my ancestors are from. Why would I go anywhere else? So we have those two perspectives. We have the fact that illegal immigration is definitely a problem. And for some reason, people are being heavily criticized for speaking against it and called xenophobic and all sorts of names, which is ridiculous. But then also we have the fact that people are desperate, looking for other horizons, because the situations in their countries have become intolerable and their countries have become inhabitable. So what do we do? What do we do as a society? Who should we blame? I want to talk about the leaders for a second. The leaders and the rulers of countries and the elites, the banks, they don't care about countries and if they become inhabitable or not. They're globalists. They can literally live anywhere in the world. If push comes to shove and the ruler of any country puts the country in so much debt and so much conflict and so much civil war that everyone has to flee, do you think he's really going to care for their people? As long as he is safe and he has the money and he has a private jet and he can get on that private jet and just go to his penthouse on Fifth Avenue or just go to his penthouse in Dubai with a view straight to the Burj Khalifa, he's going to be fine. And then people pay the price. So we are dealing with leaders and rulers that are barely human. And they're not considerate for the well-being whatsoever of their populations. Now, with all that said, I really want to stress the fact that if you have come to a country illegally and you didn't go through the process of being filtered and accepted into the country, then don't come into the country like a lot of people do. They come into the United States of America. They are here for whatever number of years. And then whenever they disagree with the government or they disagree with the president or whatever they want to disagree on, they just bash on America. They just completely tear it down and they just completely say whatever they want to say about the country. It's like you came in here illegally. You have been incredibly fortunate that you haven't gotten deported, you and your family. And now you're bashing the country. You're talking ill about the country that hasn't kicked you out. I understand you had, yes, your necessities. I understand that your country was doing horribly. But we need to understand, and I want to make something very clear. Immigration is not a human right. Immigration is not something anybody is entitled to. Immigration is a privilege, and it should be treated as such. So if you were able to come to a country, whether you came to this country legally or illegally, you should be grateful. And that doesn't mean that you are not allowed to criticize the country where you live now. What that means is that you can raise a concern, but not completely tear down that country and speak ill of the country that opened up its doors to you. If you came legally, if you came illegally, then you literally broke the lock, got into the country without going through the due process, which, by the way, how do you think legal migrants, because this is an extra perspective that I want to give. How do you think legal migrants feel about the fact that a lot of people are getting just endless benefits from all these sanctuary cities and, such as New York and Chicago and LA? They're getting all these benefits in London, Paris. They're being given, shelter, and they're being given food from taxpayer money, all of it. How do you think legal migrants that spend years and spend unmeasurable amounts of money to get through the proper and legal process to coming to a country, becoming a resident, and eventually becoming a citizen feel when they see that people from all over the world are just barging in, getting benefits that they don't even qualify for? It doesn't seem very fair, does it? So there is a lot of lenses to this topic. There is a lot of angles. And I just wanted to put the angles out there and see what you people think. What do you guys think? Again, feel free to disagree with me in the comments. Feel free to open up discussions and debates. I'd be happy to hear what you guys have to say. And again, I understand immigration. I understand. But migrants, whether legal or illegal, have to be grateful. They have to be grateful that a country opened the doors to them. They have to be grateful that they have been able to be here for 2, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And if they're illegal, they should be even more grateful because of everything that this country has given them. But they didn't even come legally in the first place. And also, and I want to close with this, if you're an immigrant, as a lot of us are, you have to assimilate. You have to understand that a certain language is spoken in that country. You have to understand that a certain culture and a certain way of doing things is inherent to the country, a certain system, a certain political system, a certain legal system, a certain speed on which things are done. The country does not have to cater or accommodate to you. You have to assimilate. You're the person that has to go, this is a country that opened its doors to me and my family. This country has a certain system. I cannot just come in and change the country because you wouldn't go to anybody's home and tell them where to place their TV or their drawers or their bureau or their I don't know, kitchen items, appliances, whatever you want to call it. You wouldn't go to anyone's house and tell them, hey, things should be done this way. You'd get kicked out immediately. And I can even give you more examples with countries being represented as houses and whatever. You know, when you're a guest, you behave a certain way and you have to be grateful for certain things for as long as you're under that roof. So I just wanted to give more perspective on this topic. And I want to finish with the thought that immigration is incredible. It enriches country and makes them better, for sure. And if an individual wants to go into a nation, have a family, acquire property, further their career, assimilate, respect the law, grow as an individual, grow their family, and respect and act in accordance with the values of that nation, then of course, that person, wherever they come from, will always be a person who will be considered to come into that nation and will be more than welcome to look for a future within the borders of that nation. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you, and we'll see you on the next one. Hello there, and thank you very much for watching today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, do not hesitate to like and subscribe to the channel for you to get more content like this. Thank you very much. God bless you, and see you on the next one.